to go live here soon.
Cool. Whenever you're ready. Let me see.
Yeah. And they're all here. So Walter, whenever you're ready, man, we're ready to go ahead and jump into this.
Let's
thing,
do it.
dude.
Let's go.
All
Let's go.
right. Hi, everybody. Welcome again to another rendition of the Residence Life Speaker Series. This program is brought to you by Residence Life and Housing Services. My name is Justin Brown. I'm your host. This is my co-host,
Leah Paulson.
Today we're here with Walter Emmanuel Jones. He's an American actor, a martial artist, as I'm sure you know, as he needs no introduction, and a dancer, and primarily known for playing the primary role of Zach Taylor, the original Power Ranger, in the original series, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So give it up for Walter Emmanuel Jones. What's up, boss? How are you?
Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? How you doing?
We're doing good, doing good. So how have you been during this quarantine?
Man, it's a crazy time because I am a very social person. I travel the world. I go to lots of Comic-Cons and meeting my fans, and we have fans in 40 different countries. So I stay pretty busy, bouncing around and traveling almost at least 2 weekends a month. And man, it's being at home and being inside and not having all my friends and being able to go dance, and that whole thing has been. It's been pretty interesting, but I'm maintaining. I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. You have any funny quarantine stories? Anything funny happened since the quarantine?
Well, you know what? I've become a TikToker. That happened. You know, it's like, oh, okay, I'm home. I guess I can, explore this thing they got called TikTok. And so I've been doing TikToks at home with myself and my girlfriend and my kids every now and then, and that's been pretty interesting. Outside of that, it's just been, funny is just the things you find to do when you're at home, when you're bored. I've cleaned a lot and my sleeping pattern is crazy. I'm up till 4 a.m. mostly every night, and then I'll sleep till about noon. But outside of that,
All right.
It's typical.
So obviously, everybody knows why you're here. Zach, the original Black Power Ranger. We want to talk to you about that. We want to talk to you about some projects that are going on right now. I need to make sure that I let you know that the episode Zach's birthday almost got me suspended from school. You're probably
How
like,
so?
what the heck?
Happened?
So we had a substitute teacher on the day that my friend and I decided that we were going to switch Old Man of the Sea, which we were watching all year, or we were watching all week, and the sub had left for us to watch, and switch it with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Zach's birthday.
Okay.
When he pushed the tape in and he pushed play, and it came up, and I know that you probably remember this, but those little promo commercials that were coming up were like full power,
yeah,
all those different things, and it came up and had all these different things. He was like, wait a minute, this is an Old Man of the Sea. And we were all laughing. So he obviously knew it was us.
Okay.
So, the principal was like, what? But yeah, tell us some more about these stories.
Well, Power Rangers was, it was crazy because it happened. Nobody expected it to become what it was. It was like this quirky kids show that was weird and had come from Japan. And most people had the show run for 20 years in Japan, and then we got a hold to it and made an American version. And what they did is they took half of the episodes, which are Japanese footage, and added to American footage and made it to this one thing. And so it looked strange. It was like, a lot of voiceover work over the over some of the like Rita's voice and so forth and so on. Like, we never met Rita. She was Japanese, and Japanese footage. And then we had an American actress, Barbara, who would voice her. And I would bump into her from time to time doing ADR, but otherwise, we never really met them. And then Zordon, who was our leader, we worked with one time. And it's funny, we met him on the day that he auditioned. He and another guy auditioned. They shaved his hair off, and he did the voice. And from that point on, it was only voiceover, because that's why his face was like mumbled, and you couldn't really see what his mouth was saying and the whole thing. But Power Rangers is just a really good time. I'm sure, some of you guys probably have questions. Like, what do you guys want to know?
Yeah, there's a lot of fans in here. We're going to allow Leah to start coming on.
I'm saying,
some people got they need to put it on Netflix, man. They took it off. They have it back. That's what region you're on. Leah, go ahead.
They took it off?
Listen, it depends what region you're in. Sometimes it's on,
Okay.
sometimes it's not there. Sometimes they only have season 1. Sometimes it's crazy. So go ahead. We'll start letting people ask
All
you questions.
right. I see everybody. What's up, Lexi? What's up, Juan? What's up, Lawrence? What's up, Darian? I see y'all in the
Yes.
house.
I just wanted to say too, I loved Brett's helmet. I know he just took it off, but that helmet was popping. I really liked it.
Yeah, I saw him sporting the Red Ranger helmet. I was like, all right, I got you.
It's hard to
Supposed
breathe.
to have a Black Ranger version coming out too.
Did you say it's hard to breathe in it, Brett? Is that what you're saying? That's funny. You can wear that out instead of a mask, so you don't get your germs on other people right now.
Yeah, there's actually a meme out like that, a video like that, where they got the Black Ranger shopping in the market in the full Black Ranger costume, and it says something like, they told him to wear a mask when he went out to go shopping, and he's got the Black Ranger helmet on.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. My parents live in like a neighborhood and they have people that have been dressing up as like a T-Rex and and all the like Halloween costumes to like walk the dog.
Yeah.
Bring a little like lightness, positivity to the neighborhood. So
you got to do it. You got to have some levity to it. Like you got to entertain yourself. Yeah. It's crazy now, right, to be walking around with masks on and that's like the new normal. Because I remember seeing, after the SARS virus, you see a lot of Asian people wearing a mask, and I didn't understand why are they wearing a mask. And now I get it, because I'm like, oh, okay, and because there's a contagious, disease, and everybody's trying to be safe.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So our first question that came in is from Juan Kim. So go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, what's going on, bro? Nice to meet you, man.
What's up, Juan? How you doing, man? You all right?
I'm doing all right. Just quarantining. You know what it is.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
What city are you guys in?
We're from Philadelphia. Well, I'm from Philadelphia.
Philly in the house. Okay,
it's a lot of PA people. There's some people that aren't in PA, so it's a mixture of people.
All right, cool. My girl's from Philly. Yeah.
So my question for you is, I want to go into the acting field. And
okay.
I'm actually an opera singer. I'm an opera major.
Wow.
And eventually, I want to dive into the mainstream of acting. And how did you get yourself into that field, and what kind of characteristics did you build in terms of getting roles and getting people's favor? All these positive traits that you can develop in order for you to get all the different roles and things like that.
Well, what it is it's a process. I went to a school of performing arts, which is not required. But
where did you go to school, by the way, if you don't mind?
I went to a school of performing arts called United States International University School of Performing and Visual Arts. Long name. It was in San Diego, and I did a lot of theater there. I studied singing, dancing, acting, piano, voice. A number of different things. Right. So what that allowed me to do is when I walked away from school, I had already had experience doing theater, a lot of theater, musical theater. And I walked away with confidence knowing that I could compete, because at least I was able to compete in this world of, dramatic arts college.
Right.
And so when I got into the world, I knew the proper things I knew was how to audition, meaning my photo and resume, those were important. And then how to audition, how to audition for musical theater, having a best 16 as far as the song choice, I had a proper song choice. I had a few for different things. And I also had, I knew how to work the camera. I knew how to slate my name and face and to show personality within that 5-minute time that I had. And then to just, bring the light on it. The thing about it is I find that you have to be charming. You need to be somewhat charming. Depends on the character as well. I mean, I also learned to walk into the room as the character. So rather than walk in and hey, I'm Walter, if I was kind of hard, then I came in kind of hard. It was something Walter. I had to be, I walked in the character or in the frame of the character. Mm-hmm. So that way it wasn't it wouldn't take them long to see me as that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to go, oh, he's such a really nice guy. I could never see him play the part. And then I had to jump into the character. No, I came in as kind of the character, so they would already see me as that, and it wouldn't be a far jump. Mm. The other thing that was important was getting the proper people around you. So you want to get an agent, first and foremost. I got a commercial agent, which was the easiest because commercial is more about the look than about anything else. So I sent out, at that time, everything was by mail, but I sent out a photo resume and a cover letter to about 50 agencies. I was picked up by 3. So I went and met with those 3. Of the 3, I picked one. And then I started going out for commercials, and I would go out, and then I got a dance representation, and then I got theatrical representation. So now I have different agents working for me on my behalf, and they're calling me for auditions, and then it's just about getting the gig. And that's a whole different process. You got to walk into the room. You have to feel confident about who you are, because it's a competitive industry, and people will try to psych you out. And some people have relationships with the casting directors, and you don't in the beginning.
Right.
And so, you walk in and they're like, "Hey, Kathy, it's good to see you. Yeah, we'll talk to you later." And, you're like, "Dang, he knows the casting director like that," and you want to know them. But not everybody does, and everybody can. But you just go in and be yourself, and do the best job you can, and know when you walk away that that you left what you wanted to in the room. And it doesn't mean that you were not talented if you didn't get the job, because it's a highly competitive industry. And if you didn't get the job, if you got a call back, cool. If you didn't get a call back, maybe you just weren't right. It might not be your talent. It might be your look. It might be your height. It could be any number of things. It could be producer's pick, who's picking a friend. It could be,
or the character that you need at that moment too, right?
Right. It varies, and it can change. So I've been booked for jobs where I walked in the room and I killed it, and they called me and they said, "Oh, you got the job." And then I got on the job, and they had 2 other guys to do the same job. And then they filmed all 3 of us, and one of them was the one they used.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like,
Grimy.
yeah, it's grimy, bro. It's like, it's not easy. And what I tell people in regard to being in the industry is, if you want to be an actor, you want to be a singer, or whatever, do it because you love it. Don't do it because you want to be rich or famous, because rich and famous come and go. Like, you can be famous, you can be on a hit show. There's how many actors you've seen on a major television series that was a hit for a while, and then you never see them work again. And you're like, what happened to that actor? It's like, It's a competitive industry, and people come and go, and you can make money and you can lose money, and then you got to get a new job. It's not like, once you get started, once you hit a mark, that you stay. Because I remember on Power Rangers, there was a period of time where I was riding in a limo everywhere I went. I was like, "Oh man, I'm here, I've arrived. I'm taking a limo forever, for the rest of my life." That was not the case. So, although I continue to work, it's continuously a struggle. Starving artist is a term that's meant for artists, because art is deceptive in a way that you have lots of it to give, but there's not always opportunity for you to show it.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That was
Sure.
really helpful and insightful, and I'll take whatever I can.
Yeah, man, just do it because you love it. As long as you love it, as long as you love what you do, then you're happy. That's where it's at. And what I learned to do is I learned to do a number of things. So as far as having longevity in my career, I've done everything. I sing, I dance, and I act. So that means I do voiceover work. I do animation. I can do stunts. So if anything's slow, if I'm not working as an actor on television, then maybe I'll do some stunts. And if I'm not doing stunts, then maybe I'll dance over here, or I'll teach a dance class. Or if I'm not doing that, then maybe I'll sing in a musical theater production. So, there's lots of opportunity for work. And as long as I'm working, I'm happy.
So in a way, you're my competitor as well.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, because that's the thing. It's like, not only is the industry full of talented people, but it's full of talented people that have been in the industry for a long time.
Right.
But the good thing is they're always looking for a fresh face. They're always looking for the new thing. So, there's lots of opportunity. And especially now with so much media. There's so many different media outlets. I mean, you got the internet, you got, you got social media, you got all these different ways to do your craft. I mean, if now, if more than any other time, you can create whatever you want to be, and you can put it out there in the market to be sold. So being a creator is big. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
We got
That was awesome. I
have
won't
a
take
lot
too
of-
much time. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, man. We got a lot of requests in the chats. They want to hear you say it's morphin time, Mastodon. Can we hear that?
You know what? Why don't we say that for the end?
All right, yeah, that's
do
a
it
great
for the end.
suggestion. Absolutely. All right, well, we can
Yeah.
go to the next question. Go ahead, Leah.
Awesome. So I think next was Brett. So Brett, go ahead.
What's up, Brett?
Hey, Walter, man, thanks for coming in and doing this with us. It's really cool, you.
Yeah, man, it's cool.
So yeah, my one question is, who was your favorite bad guy on the show? You know what I mean? It seems like every week you guys would have a new baddie that would kind of take over. And do you have a favorite?
Well, you know, I get that question, and the thing is it changes often because, you know, in this time I did 85 episodes, so there were a lot of people that we went against, and sometimes other people remind me of the story that I forgot about. But offhand, I'll say Lord Zed was pretty badass. I mean, he was intimidating, and compared to what we fought before Lord Zed came around, it was like, you know, Rita always had a headache. She was, you know, this weird, quirky woman. And then the putties were like just silly, you know, the whole thing. And then Lord Zed came, and I remember the first day I saw the suit because one of the stunt guys who had been a putty got to wear the Lord Zed suit. So he became Lord Zed on the TV show, and he was excited. He's like, "Hey man, so I'm gonna be Lord Zed." I'm like, "Oh wow, that's cool." He's like, "Yeah," he was excited because it was like a step up from being a putty and doing a whole getting kicked in the face and everything else. Now he's gonna be one of the character actors, and he was excited. He didn't do the voice, but he would do the body work. So he came walking in the room, and man, you know, I don't know if you could see it on the TV show, but close up, there's like Lord Zed has veins, and there's red blood coursing through it. Like you can see the blood going through the veins. It's like that was pretty intense, especially for a kid's show. I was like, this dude might be too intense, but you know, they gave him a cool voice, and he was silly in his own way. I mean, first he was menacing, but they lightened up on him because it is a kid's show. But yeah, Lord Zed was pretty badass. Goldar was, you know, he was always there, and he was always like trying to get us, man. So got to give it up to Goldar too. And he was a consistent character. Out of I would say of the weirdest characters, Pudgy Pig was pretty weird. The pig in the helmet that ate our weapons, and we had to make him vomit. that was a strange episode. It was like, okay, so he's gonna eat our weapons, and we gotta give him radish, and he's gonna vomit it up, and that's the way we win. Okay, all right, that's different. Okay, there we go. But yeah, that was those are some of my favorite villains.
Cool, man. Thanks.
You're welcome, man. Nice to meet you.
You too.
So it looks like we got a couple raised hands too. So Gabriella, do you have a question? Oop, hold
yes.
on.
Sorry, I was Hi, Walter.
Gabby.
How you doing?
Hey,
I had
good. How are you?
pleasure. I'm good. I had the pleasure to meet you in person in a couple of Comic Cons, so I'm so excited to
nice.
be here today.
Yay. I've been to Pennsylvania. I've been to Philly a few times.
Yeah.
Did you see me there at PhillyCon?
Yeah, I'm not in the one in not exactly in Philly, the one in Phoenixville. I'm not sure. I forgot the name of the town. The Great Philadelphia Comic Con.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Philadelphia adjacent. Yeah.
Yes, it was great to meet you in person. And I was just wondering, how was your experience with Comic Cons, and how do you think that's gonna go amid the pandemic?
You know, I really enjoy going to Comic Cons because I love to meet the fans. And what I find is it's amazing to meet someone that's always wanted to meet you, and then to finally meet them and make an impression, because I feel like it's a special moment. It's like, you know, if you always wanted to meet me and you finally meet me, and then I'm nice, I mean, what you expected me to be, as compared to being a disappointment. You know, I mean, like, obviously there are times that we're all human, there's times there where I can't necessarily, like if I'm at a Comic-Con and I get bad news, something happened to somebody in my family, I'm not gonna be in the best mood. And if you meet me at that time, then you walk away going, well, I thought he was gonna be nicer. Or I thought he was gonna be more energetic, or he would be funner. And he seemed weird. I don't know, maybe he didn't really connect. I hate for people to walk away with that kind of impression of me, because I'm a nice person. I'm a kind person. I like making people smile, and I appreciate the people that appreciate me. But so I always try to give that energy to everybody, and I'm touchy and I'm funny. I mean, we met, I'm sure we got a hug or whatever. And
yeah, it was a great experience.
Yeah, well,
a lot of fun.
I don't know what it's gonna turn into. I mean, like with this social distancing, I don't know how it's gonna work. I mean, I got a taste of it because I was in Mexico City, at the start of it, and I was in Mexico City when we got the notice that Trump was going to be closing the borders to everybody in like 2 days. So it was like I had to hurry up and get home to make sure I could be home without having any problems coming back across the border. But while I was there, I was practicing social distancing for the first time, and I was hand sanitizing my hands, and I was trying not to touch because I'm very touchy. Like, I want to connect, but I was doing fist bumps to everybody, instead of like shaking hands, and I didn't give as many hugs and so forth and so on. And I felt like it didn't feel right to me. It was difficult. It was difficult to have distance because I want to bridge that gap, But I'm sure we'll find a way. I'm sure it'll be the same thing. We'll just have to find a different way to be happy together. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe we'll be able to dance with. I like to dance, so I'll dance with people, and we'll give air hugs. We'll blow kisses. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to getting back out there, and I want to continue to meet my fans from all around the world, and I love that. I love that happy. That happy's a good happy. It makes my heart full because I walk away every time feeling like, wow, I made a difference, and it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So we have a few more questions that rolled in. So Becky, you're up next.
Hi there.
Becky.
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay. First off, want to say I'm a very huge fan. I even have a Power Ranger tattoo on my arm.
Well, look at you, girl. Pink Ranger in the house.
I'm freaking out a little bit. Okay. Something I wanted to ask you as somebody else that doesn't have like 100% of what they should on their hand. I was wondering if your finger that you are missing has ever like taken away a role from you, or if you found it difficult stunt wise to do without that.
It's never stopped me from any stunt. Role wise, perhaps, because when I go for commercial auditions, part of the process is they go, can you state your name and can you show us the front and the back of your hands? So I have to go, hi, I'm Walter Jones. And I'm sure that some people go, oh, no, we can't have him handling product because he's missing a finger. So I'm sure that's taking a job or two away from me, but in general, it doesn't affect me. I mean, most people don't realize it. I don't have to hide it or anything. Actually, I play with it a little bit. Like I just did a role on a show called Boomerang. I was the Black Ranger on Boomerang. I guest starred on it this month, like last week, I think it was on, and I'm wearing the Ranger suit for the first time in 25 years. And there's one scene, in one of the scenes, I'm giving directions to this guy, and I tell him it's the third door down. So I do it but I'm wearing my glove, and you can't see, but I have the middle finger tucked inside the glove, so it's not flopping around, right? So I go, it's the third door down, and I point, and I did it that way on purpose because I could have done it with my right hand, but I did it with my left hand to see if anybody would notice. I wonder if they notice that there's a missing finger there when I do 3 doors down, but yeah, it's kind of fun. But no, it's not a problem. So you have a missing appendage as well?
Not missing. Mine just didn't fully grow in all the way, so I've really poor grip strength and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, well, yeah. I hope it doesn't interfere with too much. The only problems I have is like certain things, like I when I learned to play piano, I couldn't play it regularly because of the missing finger. I had to do a different technique. It's been difficult to play the guitar. I got to play left-handed, so I can strum with the left hand and chord with the right hand.
I'm actually
typing.
a drummer too, so.
Are you? Oh, that's dope. That's dope. When I was in elementary school, high school, I was going to take a typing class, and the teacher kicked me out because she said she didn't have time to give me special instruction. So I never took typing. That's why I type like this. It's all good though. It doesn't stop me from doing anything. But yeah, that was some of the complications, but otherwise not a problem. In fact, my missing finger made me stand out in school when I was in elementary school because girls would often be curious and they would like it. They were like, "Excuse me, I heard that you were missing a finger," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And they were like, "Can I see it?" And I go, "Yeah." And I'll show them. Like, "Can I touch it?" And I'm like, "Ooh." But the boys were afraid of it. The boys would be like, "You missing a finger? Oh, get away from me!" And I was like, "Oh, all right, don't mess with me then." It's crazy. So it never really bothered me, but it's always been there since I was 4.
Thank you.
Keep up the drumming.
I wanted to share a comment for Wade because it looked like he was driving, but he wrote in the chat, "Oh my gosh, I'm such a fan. I met you in Atlanta and you were so nice to me and he made my kid dreams come true." But I think he was driving. I don't want to make him like unmute and say that, but yeah. I think that was when you were talking about like hoping to leave a good impression on people. So obviously you've definitely made a good impression on Gabriella who met you and Wade who met you. So
love that.
The other thing is that another thing, because we're streaming via the Facebook, they want to know which of the Rangers that were there during your seasons. I think you were in seasons maybe 1 through 3. Is that right? 1 through 3?
I did the first 2 seasons, a very few episodes of the 3rd season.
Which one of them do you still keep in contact with?
I keep in contact with all of them. I mean, we see each other at Comic-Cons often. Who I'm probably closest to is Austin St. John, the Red Ranger. But we were roommates back in the day. So he was 18 or 17 and I was older. And we were roommates and we had big parties and, I kind of watched him grow up. So we stayed really close. But I get along with everybody, David Yost, Jason David Frank, Kimberly, Amy Jo Johnson. I mean, we all are part of something that not everybody can say they're a part of, and that will always forever be with us. It'll always be something that connects us. Not everybody can understand what it's like to walk around the world and know that you were part of the childhood of people in 40 countries. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that is something that unites us because we're all part of it. And if you love one of us, you love all of us, basically, So it's cool.
I love that. Awesome. So Jamal has had his hand up for a while. So Jamal, go ahead and ask your question.
Well, it's totally fine. I'm enjoying this. Oh my God.
You had your hand up like that?
Look, I'm just here waiting. I'm like just taking it all in like a lot of other folks are doing right now. So thank you for having the time, Justin. Thank you for the invitation. Just 2 quick things. So the first is my wife is actually working right now, so she can't be here. But if you could just say, "Hey, Tosh," that would be like fantastic. So if
what up, Tosh? Wifey, what up, girl?
One more time.
What's up, Tosh?
All right.
It's your boy Walter Jones. Hey.
Oh, thanks, man. And then the second question that I have is for you, like, what do you feel like your legacy is in Black culture? I think back to 1993, there weren't a lot of folks looking like us,
right,
doing what you were doing at that time. And so looking back now, 20 some odd years, I think it's 20 some odd years. Like, what do you think? 28
years going on 29. Crazy. And I'm only 28. I don't know how that worked, but. Okay.
But like for you, what do you feel like your legacy is to the Black community and the Black culture, knowing that you played such a huge role in so many of our lives?
Well, I'm very proud. One, I feel fortunate in a lot of different ways. One, I was the first African American superhero in live action TV, so that is that's historical. So that's awesome. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, predominantly Black city. I grew up in the hood, so so I know what, you know. I grew up in a family community, so for me to become a superhero and be a role model for kids, not only in Detroit but all around the world, as a Black person, person of color, I was very proud, because here I was leaving a really good impression on a lot of people, and giving them something to look at, and something to look at and be proud of. So that felt good to me in the process of doing it, and but I didn't really get the impression it left until now. Meaning, somebody asked me, so when did you realize you were a hero? And I was like, oh, okay, well, when we became the #1 rated kids show on television in the world, it was like, that was like a big deal. It was like, wow, you know, we're doing it. We've been doing big things. But what 20 years later, when I met the kids that I used to say, hey, what's up, little man, to that now had a voice as a man, had kids themselves, was wild, because it was like, you know, I got told from people, every time I do a Comic-Con, I will probably meet anywhere between 300 and 1,500 people in a weekend. And everybody has a story. Everybody has, when I was a child, I wanted to be like you, white, Black, indifferent, whatever, it doesn't matter. But when I was a child, I watched you on television and you made me want to be, or you inspired me to be, or I wanted to be like you in some fashion or form. And now I'm doing this and I want to say thank you. Can you understand what that does to my heart? That makes me go, man, I might not ever meet or know this person, but they walk around in the world having a story of how I helped them in some way. And that makes me so happy, because at the end of the day, me growing up as a little kid in Detroit in a single family household, and, you know, learning to do flips out in my front yard, and taking karate classes, and loving dance, and like everything that my family helped me to become, everything that God put in my life to go, these are the skill set, this is the skill set I'm gonna give you to develop. And then when the opportunity comes, you're gonna take it and you're gonna be able to create this thing that's gonna inspire all these people. The drops that are left around the world from what I brought to that character, and what came out as African American, it's all inspiring to me, man. It blows my mind. I walk around, I mean, it's 29 years later, and if I go outside when there's not a quarantine, I'm recognized at least 3 times a day, and somebody's always giving me love. I've been to the Philippines, I've been to Jakarta, I've been to Australia, I've been to Ireland and Scotland, and all these places, it's the same thing, and it's the same love. And it's like, I can walk around in the world feeling like I have friends everywhere. Because even if I don't know you, when I meet you, you're like, bro, oh man, come here, man. It's that kind of love. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. It's crazy. I love it. And it can be intimidating because I don't know you. Like, hey man, what you doing touching me? But it's love. So like, it's cool. I don't know. For me, I think maybe it could be really intimidating to some people that are not comfortable being, they're not comfortable in the world, people being touchy, and you don't know everybody's, you don't know what everybody really wants. You know, I mean, like, you can't trust everybody that comes at you. And so that can be intimidating. I'm very capable of taking care of myself though. So I don't walk around intimidated, but just knowing that I got so much love in the world makes me so happy. And I'm inspired that I was an inspiration to not just Black people, but to everybody. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you. We definitely want to be respectful of your time. So we're going to try to get to the rest of our questions, but my apologies if we don't get to every single one. So Lawrence, we have you next. Go ahead.
What up, Lawrence?
Hi, Walter. How are you?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciated everything that you said before. But my question, what's your favorite prop that you got to keep from set?
Well, favorite prop. All right, so one, they didn't allow us to keep a lot of things. So I do have a few things. I think I have a telecommunicator somewhere. I have a skateboard from the pilot. I have the juice bar sign, Ernie's Juice Bar.
Oh, wow.
I have the juice bar sign. It's not up. I got to put it up. I got to put it in a special box. It's been 29 years since I have it up. It's crazy. But I have that. One of the coolest props I got, though, from this show was I did an episode where I had a tarantula on my shoulder. And the story of the tarantula is crazy because the prop guy comes out. He goes, all right, so we're doing this episode. You got the spider on your shoulder. We're going to put a fake spider on your shoulder. But then for a close-up, we're going to use a real tarantula. Now, I've never seen a tarantula in my life, right? And I'm like, okay, real tarantula, how big is it? It's like, it's about this big. It's a big tarantula. And I'm like, okay, it's not going to bite me. We're good, right? And he's like, no. I fed it crickets. And it's full, so it's not hungry, and you don't have to worry about it. It's just gonna sit there. You'll know if it's gonna strike because it'll go up on its hind legs, like that. So I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So if it goes up on, okay, all right. So Austin and everybody else is there with me, and they're like, okay. So they put the spider on my shoulder. It's tarantula. He's right here. I'm looking at him like, okay, that's a tarantula on my shoulder. It's weird. It's hairy and it's got 8 legs and okay. Right by my neck. Okay, cool. Ready to do this. So they go, the director goes, all right, Walter, so I want you to look at the spider and I want you to scream. I'm like, okay. All right, so I look at it and go, oh, and I go, no, scream louder. And I'm like, ah, right? So my breath on the spider makes the spider go, and I'm like, get it off. And the prop guy comes in and sweeps the spider off my shoulder, but he like went up to strike and I was like, oh my God. So he didn't bite me. Good part of the story. And at the end of the day, the prop guy goes, hey, so we got this tarantula and we're not going to do anything with it. The episode's over. You want it? And I'm like, okay. So I named the tarantula Homie because Homie don't play that. And took him home and I had him for like 2 years, man. So that was cool. Yeah, people come to my house and like, yeah, this is my tarantula. I learned to pet him and feed him crickets, and it was cool. It was a cool tarantula.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Lexi Ashton, we'll take yours next.
So I just want to know like what it's like knowing that like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was like the first of what's become like now like 20 plus series. Like it's like something that over like generations have some version of Power Rangers. So what is that like for you knowing that? And like, do you have a favorite series besides Mighty Morphin?
That's a good question. It's like I'm the OG, OG in the house. What's up? Hey. It's cool knowing that that we started something that's been able to carry on for so many years. That's continued to grow and provide opportunities for so many other actors and almost everybody that becomes a Power Ranger. I've met a lot of them because we do Comic-Cons. We have our own Comic-Con called Power Morphicon. It happens every 2 years. We're supposed to do it this year, I think, and here in California. But I met a lot of them, and it's kind of cool to be the OG. It's like, you know, we started the whole thing, and here we are. Everybody got jobs because of us, and that's cool. It's an honor, really. It's an honor to have started something that has had such a long life and continues to have a life. Meaning, we have at this point 3 generations of fans. We have your parents, you, and now your kids, which is crazy. I mean, when I'm doing Comic-Cons and I get an 8-year-old come up to me and go, "Yeah, I used to watch you when I was little," I'm like, "You're still little." But it's crazy, and the parents are behind them like going, is that, you know, because they really grew up with me, you know, like it's a different thing from the generations, because obviously the first generation, we were on TV every day. So it wasn't just a TV show. It was like the game you played when you left the house. After Power Rangers went off, you went outside and you found your friends and you're like, I'm the Pink Ranger, you're the Blue Ranger, and the Black Ranger. Let's go find some putties. Here we go. And it was like, it was on. It was like, became this fantasy game that you played, and you learned and challenged yourselves to be, you know, athletic and cool or whatever. And you know, now it's like the kids watch it. It's on every now and then. They saw it on Netflix, but they like it and they watch it on Netflix. And you know, I don't know. It's very cool. As far as the other seasons are concerned, I haven't really seen a lot of the other episodes, but I've met a lot of the other actors, and I've had some opportunities to see some of the episodes. I did a Comic-Con in Brazil last year with a bunch of the actors from Time Force, and I got to see some of their episodes, and I was like, oh, okay, that was cool, that was interesting. You know, Erin Cahill was the first Red Ranger, which was very cool, female Red Ranger, and Jason Font, they had that whole relationship, and I know was a lot of people loved. I've seen a little bit of Beast Morphers that are out now. I mean, I catch clips, but I don't watch the show really, like, you know, wholeheartedly. I watch a lot of other things, but I'm excited about everybody that comes along, and it's bizarre how I'll meet people, because I'll meet people in the strangest places, and they're like, "Hey, I'm a Ranger." I'm like, "You are?" Like, "Yeah, I was on last season, or I'm on this season, or yeah, I'm the new Red Ranger. I'm the new Blue Ranger." I was out salsa dancing one night, and this girl, I'm dancing with her. We're having a good time. We're dancing, salsa dancing. I'm dipping her. She's like, "It's nice to meet you." She's like, "Actually, I'm a fan of yours, and I'm actually the Pink Ranger." I'm like, "You are?" She said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Really? I'm a Pink Ranger on the show right now." I'm like, "Oh." And it ended up being like Jessica. And I was like, "Oh, that's so cool. It's nice to meet you." I met Selwyn, the Red Ranger, out salsa dancing. And I've met a lot of different guys, a lot of different people, different places. And it's always like, we're like a little family, and they're extended family. You know, they're like my second cousins, you know what I mean? Like, we started it. Now I got my second cousins. What's up, man? Everybody's so talented, and that's exciting to see. You know, like we just did a video. If you check out my Instagram, we just did a video. Chris Cantata did a video called Ranger Rumble. And so it's like where everybody gets hit, and we're all hitting each other, everybody put in their little piece. And it's so cool to see. Like, so a lot of really talented martial artists and acrobatics and, you know, actors, and it's cool.
Walter Emmanuel Jones, everybody. He spent time with us today. Give y'all a lot of the back stuff that's going on. Walter, thank you so much for joining us. Walter, how can people find you on social media? Like, what are some of your social media handles?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram at Walter E. Jones, on Twitter at Walter E. Jones, at TikTok at Walter E. Jones. I think Facebook, I'm Walter Emmanuel Jones. I think my full name is there. Emmanuel is Emanuel, 1 M, 1 L. Not biblical, but Emmanuel. And I think that's it. I also have a Twitch, but I haven't done it yet. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, what we've been doing with all of our speakers during the speaker series is we've allowed them to have the last word. So if there's anything you want to leave, like on the audience, anything that you want to bestow upon the students, just leave your gem, whatever you want to write. It's all you, man. 3, 2.
All right, I just want to say this. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being fans and for supporting my life and my career and my works, and helping them to continue to live on. Look for me everywhere, because I've done a lot more besides Power Rangers. I've done a lot of films, a lot of television. I continue to work. I do a lot of voiceover work. That's you know, I continue to endeavor to be an actor and live my life. And I got one more thing to say. It's morphin' time. Mastodon.
Walter Emmanuel Jones, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for being part of this call, man. We really appreciate it. To those who are still on the line, and Walter, if you want to be a part of any of these, please let us know. We can let you on. We got 2 more speakers that are coming after you today. Today we have Francia Riza from Grownish. She's going to be here. as well as Marquet Richardson. He's from Dear White People. So we're going to have those two people with us today, Eastern Standard Time.
Awesome.
Please let us know if you want to be a part. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Take care, guys. Peace.